What up, guys? No Sleeves 12 here. Today's video, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 cards to avoid and top 5 cards to go after for the launch of NHL 20. The pre-order editions were able to be downloaded and played today, so I want to give you a couple cards to go after and to stay away from in the first week. I've got a pretty stacked team. I was able to try out almost every top card, so I want to give you my advice and things that I've noticed so far since launch of NHL 20. Let's get into it. Alright, guys, so let's start with the cards to avoid come launch. When you're first getting into the first week of the game, you build up your coin stack a little bit, and you see who you think are some deals. I want to help out with that. So the first card that you're going to want to avoid is the Leon Draisaitl. If you notice here, he's going for pretty cheap, anywhere in between 20K or 25 and 30K. And you got to be thinking, that's for an 85 overall with 87 skating and 85 shot. Why is he so low, and why should I avoid him? Well, the reason is that endurance rating. So while he isn't all that great as a skater, it's not terrible, and his shot is pretty good considering all of the base overalls and whatnot. That endurance really kills his value. He just can't stay on the ice very long, and he's going to slow down quite a bit. So he is a hard avoid for me unless he drops under 20K. This reminds me of the Anze Kopitar in NHL 19. If you remember, he was an 85 overall, but everyone wanted to get rid of him. Wait until everyone packs him, uses him, doesn't want him anymore, and then buy him for under 20K. The next ones you want to avoid are the 85 overall legends or icons in the auction house. So some of these cards, Hextall, Henry Richard, Anderchuk, Sid Abel, specifically Sid Abel. 85 overall maybe, but his speed is just molasses. The reason why I'm saying avoid the 85s are because you can make them for very cheap. If you want to make the set, that's fine, but I'm almost tempted to tell you guys to just avoid the 85 set entirely and save it for the 86. Now, this pertains to people that aren't going to get a lot of Hut Icon collectibles. The one player I will say, if you find for under 50K, Ray Ferraro, buy him. The reason for it is his face-off rating is 87, his speed is almost 90 across the board, and he's got over 85 shot. He is by far the best 85, and if you find him for under 50K or maybe under 60, grab him. But for the rest, avoid these because A, you can make them for cheaper. Hut Icon collectibles currently are going for 40K, and they might drop even more. But yeah, I would avoid any of these icons, even though, you get up 70K and you're like, oh, an 85 overall. No, just avoid them. Next up, and I'm sorry, boys, but you need to avoid the 87 new icon Pavel Datsyuk. So the reason for it is he's an 87 overall. Let's look at the stats real quick. 87 skating, 87 shot across the board. His endurance is 85, and speed's an 88, which is fine. Deking's an 88. He looks like a very good card, and he's not bad. Does have X Factor, which is a good synergy. Here's the problem. Because it's Pavel Datsyuk, you're looking at about 200K to buy him. I bought him today for 175, and it was the cheapest I could find. The reason why you should avoid him, well, let's take a peek real quick. Because before I bought him, I pulled the trigger on 2 other cards that went for cheaper. And I'm going to show you them right now. This is my team currently. I was able to buy Sidney Crosby for a lot cheaper, about 30K. And he's got better stats, kind of, across the board. His shooting's very good. Speed, he's faster. And then I was able to buy Connor McDavid for just under 200K. So there's no reason to go after Pavel Datsyuk's icon card. I'm sure he's going to get better cards this year. It's Pavel Datsyuk. They love him. But this one early on, I'm talking about early on week 1, the cards to avoid. I would avoid him because he is rare to pull, and it's Pavel Datsyuk. You're just paying for the name, and yeah, I have him on my third line, and he's cool to use. It's a cool card to say you have, but no, there's just better options, especially these two. Next up of cards to avoid is the legendary or the icon defenseman. And, yeah, this is going to be kind of a hot take. There's only one defenseman that I even really want, and it's Boreas Salming in the 86 overall set, which is another reason why I'm suggesting to avoid the 85 overall set, because the 86 has the potential to pull Gartner and Boreas Salming. If you notice, his speed is 88, 87, and 88, and his shot is all above 85, essentially, which is very, very good at this stage in the game for any defenseman. But if you look along the other defensemen, let's take Chris Pronger. Look at his speed and agility. He's huge, and his shot is amazing. But it will not matter if any of the other base cards like that are 82 and above can just blow by him. Same with Larry Robinson, who's an 89. Speed's all very slow. It just, I mean, even Brian Leach, again, he's got decent speed, but from what I've heard, he's not very quick at all, and you notice it. And his wrist shot accuracy is a 66, even though you're not taking that many wrist shots. But it's just something to avoid. I mean, the only real defensemen that are amazing to pull is if you can do the 89 overall set and pull Paul Coffey, because he's the best. You're not going to pay $400K for him at this stage in the game. There's better things to do with your coins. But unfortunately, yeah, these D-men, they're just too slow, and it's important, especially with how the skating has been reworked, where you get a pass in stride. You can't have slow defensemen, and yes, I'm advising everyone to just stay away from. Now, if you do the sets and you get one, like your choices between, I don't know, Pronger and Potvin, obviously choose Potvin, choose the better D-man. But yeah, just be wary. I wouldn't go out and seek one of these guys. I would use other base cards. I use Carlson, Giordano, and another one in my seek after or my go after list. You'll see in a little bit. And lastly, for my top 5 cards to avoid, the entire 87 overall choice set. If you are able to get the collectibles required, I would either spend the 3 on the 85 and 86, or wait 2 more and get the 88. That's the ultimate move. But if you really want to spend 3 collectibles, go after these 2 first, and then skip the 87. And the reason for it is the 87 ones, the risk does not outweigh, the actual advantages of pulling an 86. If we go and look at the auction house, the biggest issue is what you are able to pull in it. I did the 87 overall set, and I got Bernie Perrant and Billy Smith, which they're unusable, really. It sucks, but it's just how it is. And it's possible you might pull them. If we're looking at Charlie Conacher, he's 6 foot, slow. Like he's not quick. He has a decent shot. Ted Lindsay, great last year in 19, slow and small. The best one you can pull is Martin St. Louis, which would be kind of cool, but he doesn't even have 90 skating for someone that was fast and 5'8". You know what I mean? Like, there's just no advantages to doing it. Obviously, they're not terrible players by any means, but if you're having to spend the capital to get them, it's just not worth it. There's better options to do with your icon collectibles. And Brendan Shanahan's not bad, but 87 skating. Like, there's just better options available to you. All right, so guys, on to the cards that you should go after in the first week that have a pretty good price point. So, Mark Scheifele. So, Scheifele is going for around 20K. You can get here 1775. So, 6'3", 207, 90 skating, 84 shooting. You're not going to put him on the draw, even though he's a center. So, he's also right-handed. So, this is a perfect left winger if you want to use him on his offhand. And going for under 20K, he's someone that I would recommend to go after. Next up would be the controversial Evgeny Kuznetsov. He's going for under 30K, and he's got some great stats. All over 93 speed, and then for his shot, he's 86 wrist shot accuracy, 81 power. Again, he's a center, but you're not going to use him on the draw. You're going to use him on the wing. A great pickup for under 30K. Again, if you were to line him up against Barkov or Draisaitl, he's got far better stats that are important, and the same price or a little bit cheaper. So. Next is Taylor Hall. This one's we're getting a little bit up more in price here, so I'm trying to appease to everyone. Under 45K is where I would go. You can find him in the 30s actually, so 35 here. The reason for it, again, he's big. His speed is out of control at 95. His endurance is only 80. It is low like it was last year, I believe, but his shootings are all around 85. That's enough, and he's going to be, again, anyone that uses those icon defensemen, Taylor Hall is just going to blow by, so those are the kind of ones you want to watch for. It'd be a great winger at under 40K. Number 4 would be Evgeni Malkin. You can find him around 50K. He's got just 90 speed, just under for acceleration agility, all above 85 in shooting. He's big, 6'3", 195. I have him on my team. Another great winger. And again, I'm not sure why he's going for so cheap, but I believe it's just because of the amount of people pulling him. But you can find him for anywhere in between 40 and 50K. Great price point for launch the first week, and someone that you can plug in if you are able to get that kind of coins. And lastly, with the new icons or alumni this year being released yesterday, Charlie Huddy is someone you need to go grab, especially early on. Under 4K, and the reason why you want to go grab him, 88 speed across the board and endurance, and over 82 shooting. There's very few defensemen at launch that have that kind of speed and shot, and especially for how cheap he's going. He's 6 foot 210, so he's big enough. His defensive stats and everything else are just 80 across the board all over there. But I've played with him on my first line, actually, as my right defenseman, and he's been great. And again, he costs next to nothing when compared to these other cards. You can get him for like 4,500, very, very cheap. I would totally recommend grabbing him. A ton of people are pulling him as well. So if you are able to get him for cheap, he's one of the better defensemen that I would go after early. So guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Again, daily YouTube NHL content here. You can also catch me live on Twitch, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends for champs and comp seasons and whatnot. So again, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know if you think I missed anyone or some other values or cards that you think suck in the comments section down below. Have a good one, guys.